Boys ready? You think that's where he was standing? Which way did he come from? That way? Oh, you got to watch him a while, huh?
The trees that are split right there, to the right of it?
Yep.
That's where he went in. That's where we saw blood.
So to the right of those?
Yes, sir.
Come here. Sit down. Sit. Wait. So you think he's standing somewhere in here? Right there. Looks like there's a little deer path there.
All right, this track is from last year. It's the very first track of the year. We are in Wyoming, very, very close to Devil's Tower. We're going to get Diesel started on this track.
Let's go to work.
This hunter is actually from Hawaii. He took a extremely long shot on a really big Wyoming whitetail in the middle of this field. And from a handler perspective, this is what we call a directed search start. We don't know exactly where the deer was standing. We don't have hair, we don't have blood, and we don't have an arrow. The buck carried the arrow off. So we don't exactly know where the deer was standing. So in cases like this, we let the dog work in a directed search pattern, and they develop their own pattern over time. And we let the dog pick the line up. Sometimes it takes them more time than others, and the dogs get better at it as they do it. But you'll see Diesel change his body language dramatically as soon as he picks up the line here. Right now, he's just searching back and forth. There's a lot of foot traffic out here, most likely, and he's just trying to pick out his wounded deer and which way it went.
Here, check here. That's the line right there. He was further that way. Easy, easy.
All right, this is the section, this little stretch of timber here is the one I was concerned with the most. The outfitter was, which is 7J Outfitters, by the way, they were very honest with me about what happened in here. There was 5 or 6 guys combing these woods for 2 to 3 hours, looking for any sign and looking for this deer. I knew the crux of this track, if the deer was dead, which I think he was to get through this grid search area. And lucky for me, Diesel just plows right through it and brings me out into the field, which they didn't think the deer went into.
Easy.
If you've watched my videos at all, you'll know that Diesel changes, and most tracking dogs changes as they transition from cover to cover. You'll see him much tracking in a much looser style here. It's just because the scent's being blown all over in these fields. But the key here that I want to point out to handlers is if you watch these videos at all, you'll notice that I've taught Diesel to sit at fences. And this is a very good reason why. This fence is very dangerous in terms of barbed wire, and it's also a very good indication because when he sits at the fence like this, like he's about to do, I know exactly where that deer went over, and there's no doubt about it. That's where the deer went.
Just wait. Up. Easy. Easy. What?
I called out blood there, but that was actually a bed. And then in my mind too, because I know that the outfitter and the guides and the hunters were never this far, and now I'm wondering, why is that deer not in that bed? And now my tracking senses are going off saying either that deer was probably jumped or there was another reason why he got out of that bed. A mortally wounded deer left undisturbed is most likely going to die in that first bed.
Easy.
And the fact that he's not there doesn't speak well in terms of what happened or may not have happened with the coyotes.
You see the blood? There was a bed in there, got blood in them trees.
Another thing that I'm noticing too, most of the time when I tell my hunters, when Diesel marks on the track, if he marks several times, 3 or 4 times maybe, it usually means that the deer isn't dead. But in this case, this marking right that you see there is most likely he's marking over the coyotes that are chasing this deer. And this is all the things that are going through my head as we move along here. But you're going to see him mark a couple of more times throughout this track, and it just reinforces that this is most likely a coyote chase, because his body behavior and his pace and his determination is telling me that he thinks the deer is dead. So I don't think it's a distraction point. I think it's more of, I'm marking over the coyotes that are chasing this deer.
Easy.
I'm constantly evaluating throughout this track Diesel's body behavior, his language, his pace, Where's his nose? Is it up? Is it down? And you'll notice he picks his nose up there, and he's going around in a non-linear fashion. In other words, he's not tracking in a straight line. This further tells me or proves to me that this deer is being run all over the place by coyotes, and everywhere he goes, he smells the deer and he smells the coyotes. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. The tracking conditions up here in Wyoming is absolutely perfect, even though we're over 6,000 feet here, but the weather's in the 50s, and we've got just enough cover to hold scent. The little bit of vegetation, the 6, 8, 10, 12-inch stuff is holding scent really well. The larger trees block the wind, and there's a little bit of dew on the ground yet. And I can't ask for anything better. I mean, tracking here is like, it's got to be what it's like tracking in heaven, because it's just really nice. You don't get beat up and you don't have to crawl around. So if there's one good thing, the terrain here is terrific to track in.
I don't like this. All right, easy.
Hey, easy. Easy.
As Diesel works out this road crossing, it's probably a good time to mention is the day before this track, I came down with COVID. I dreaded the phone call. I was there to track, but I dreaded the phone call when 7J said that they had a couple of deer that they wanted tracked, and I had 103-degree fever. I was suffering badly on this track, and I'm going to start paying for it real soon here, because I'm going to start huffing and puffing. Like I said, we were over 6,000 feet. I think we were closer to 7,000 feet, and even these little hillsides on the side of the road here is just punishing to me, and I'm sweating bullets, and I really do not want to be in my feet. And the only thing I'm doing here is trying to stay upright, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% by any means, and I'm gonna, before this track is over, I'm gonna do everything I can just to stay upright and stay on my feet and stay behind the dog. So you're gonna hear me start laboring here the rest of the track. It's not because I don't want to cut it out, because it's really what happened, but I'm gonna start suffering here bad. So I apologize for the heavy breathing.
It's okay. Here, you want some water?
As we get Diesel some water here, as I watch this video, one of the things I probably should have done, both for him and me, is we should have stopped for water sooner. He's working pretty hard. We are over a mile into this track already. The actual track was 1.25 miles. We're almost at the end, and so I should have stopped him earlier for water, but he's tolerant of me, and he knows at this point in time he can turn around and ask me for water anytime he wants, and he'll do that. But just watching this, it's a good time for a break. Gather yourself, and here I'm going to check the GPS just to make sure that I still know where I'm at. There's no way that we're going to get off of the leased property here. I want to know sort of where we've been, where the track is going, if we're circling back, if we're continuing to go further. And so anyway, it looks like we're going to start circling back here, and I've got a good feeling that we were close at this point in time, but still wasn't sure. So we're going to keep at it.
All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work. Whoa. Hey.
All right, we're going to come up on the kill site, I will say, where the coyotes caught the deer. I don't recognize it immediately. I start seeing pieces of hide, blood. We notice the intact stomach out of the deer. But to be honest with you, I am really out of it at this point in time. I'm completely exhausted. I'm getting a little dizzy. And I need this track to be over, and this is about where the coyotes or possibly wolves kill the deer, and so I don't recognize it necessarily immediately, but we put the pieces to the puzzle together pretty quick here.
He said, whoa. He said, whoa. Hey, I've got parts and pieces of whitetail up here all over the place. I don't know if it's his or not. Did you, huh? No, I've got hide and, yeah, so, did you, it looks pretty fresh. Did you see the blood coming through that little tiny finger of woods? Yeah, so definite bloody bed there. Not a lot of blood. He took me across a clay road on the other side. Now we're heading back to that finger of woods, that little cut over with the blood in it. I'm gonna restart him there if we don't find this whitetail here that's been torn apart. I'll take some pictures, but I'm gonna start heading back to that little cut over if you guys want to meet me there. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I lost him when I lost, yeah, it's, coyotes. I'm going to investigate a little bit more, but there's definitely, and Diesel's acting like he got real slow there for a while, which tells me that coyotes were involved. Oh, guys are right behind me. So guys are right behind me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go back to that cut over and restart him on that blood just to make sure. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna let Diesel search here a little bit, but that piece of hide I just threw the other guide here in the hunter is fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So I'm suspecting, and I'll show you on the GPS, I'm suspecting we got a coyote chase here. So, well, I'm gonna just to make sure that he didn't get off. But yeah, and we've got a gut pile here. I think the coyotes may be chasing this deer because we did a big loop.
We ain't chasing nowhere, it's that gut pile.
Yeah, we've got a gut pile here with some flies on it. So let me do some investigating here. We might come across this deer yet up here. All right.
We were trying to give you some different.
Yeah. You know the loop we made and how far we've gone? My suspicion is that, you know that little cut over?
Yep, I got him. No shit.
Hey, let my dog up. Can you let my dog up there? Is that your deer? He's come.
He's clean though. They ate that sucker all night.
Come on, Diesel. Chocolate rack.
Well, 6x7 will be pretty easy to identify.
He's come. Sit. Six by 7. That's your buck?
Enough left for the picture.
That's him.
He's come. Good boy.
I am impressed, dude.
Good boy. Good boy.
Let that dog eat the rest of it. I ain't kidding you now.
Good boy.
Can you call your buddy and tell him it's him?
Thank you.
Wow.
Diesel.
This dog is
Sit.
impressive.
Sit.
Impressive.
Congrats.
I never found that deer, man.
Impressive.
Congrats.
Good job. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you ain't finding that deer.
No.
Hell no.
I'll tell you what. How long are you around here?
I'm here till the 20th.
You will be on our speed dog because we run. Well, I can take a little video.
Oh.
We get a lot
Come on.
of cripples, man. A lot of cripples.
Go ahead and be around your deer. I'm going to pull the dog back.
We got one of them. I'll get a picture of you down here too.
I cannot believe coyotes just massacred that deer overnight.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, hang on a second here. We'll get out of this mess. Found it. Get you a picture.
We got him. Cut. You don't need your gut and gloves. He's down to the bone. I am, yeah, your other guide and your hunter's here. I'm gonna send you a screenshot of my GPS. Maybe that'll help you. All right, 1 second. Yo!
Did you call David?
You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
See ya.
Did you call David?
I got him. Yeah, he's, I'm Gary.
I'm Donnie.
Hi. Yeah, so what happened, I almost guarantee you, in that little cutover, that was his first bed. And the coyotes ran him up around here and probably killed him up here.
I've seen some of these other dogs work. That dog is impressive as hell.
Oh yeah. Diesel can get it. I told you.